And we did have that bright spot where we knock off top 10 team at home for the first time since 2022. And I think that's the first time we've beaten a team, even on the road, since 2022. So there is that bright spot as well. The other guy I'd say here that caught my eye that I was like, you know what? If he could just get more time on the court, and that's Robert Jennings II, transfer from Tech. He's a junior. Also, of course, I want to pick a guy who's coming back to put a little more stock into and everything. But he's a highly scouted guy, highly touted guy. He's a former 4-star. Listen, he's not a world beater. The most amount of minutes he played in a game was 29 minutes against at Seton Hall, and he didn't put up the most amount of points in that game, but he scored 16 in a game against Florida Atlantic. Game by game stats. Listen, like he is a weird dude if it comes to NBA ball because he's 6'7", can't shoot that well, can't do much. But in college ball, we're talking about a guy who's like, if you remember Michael Cobbins from a couple of years ago or a decade plus ago, he's a guy like that who's like, oh man, he's 6'7", 6'8", but he just plays so much taller than that, so much more physical. And he's like, oh man, he could be our center in truly desperate times. We want to go super small ball. And it's a guy who I like watching play a lot. He made 7 free throws against Colorado. He had 8 attempts in that game. So he's not a bad free throw shooter. Now, granted, I'm not going to talk up the guy on his 3-point percentage because he shot 3 threes against Seton Hall. And, again, it's the game he played the most amount of minutes. So I'm not going to talk up the guy's 3. But there's some bright spots here for Cowboy fans here from this season.